Imagine you're a sailor navigating the stormy waters of the North Atlantic centuries ago, far from any shore, when suddenly the sea erupts. Enormous tentacles, thicker than a ship's mast, surge from the depths, coiling around the hull with terrifying strength. The wood groans and splinters as the vessel is dragged downward into the swirling abyss, vanishing forever beneath the waves. This chilling vision has haunted mariners for generations. The legend of the Kraken, a colossal sea monster born from the nightmares of those who dared to challenge the ocean's fury. The roots of the Kraken myth stretch back to ancient Norse folklore, where it was described as a beast of unimaginable size lurking off the coasts of Norway and Greenland. As early as the 12th century, Norwegian King Sverre mentioned a massive creature in his writings, and by the 13th century, Icelandic sagas spoke of similar horrors, like the Hafgufa, a sea mist that lured ships to their doom, or the Lyngbakr, an island-like monster that revealed itself as a living terror when sailors anchored upon it. These weren't mere fairy tales. They were warnings passed down by fishermen and explorers who had stared into the unknown depths and lived to tell exaggerated tales around flickering fires. In Norse mythology, the Kraken was often portrayed as a gigantic cephalopod, resembling an octopus or squid, capable of creating massive whirlpools that swallowed entire fleets. Sailors claimed it could be mistaken for an island, its back rising like a mountainous hump from the sea, only to awaken and unleash destruction when disturbed. Norwegian Bishop Erik Pontoppidan, in his 1752 Natural History of Norway, compiled accounts from credible witnesses describing a creature miles in circumference with arms that could ensnare ships and drag them under. These stories spread across Europe, inspiring fear and fascination, even influencing writers like Victor Hugo and Jules Verne, who depicted tentacled horrors in their novels. But what if these legends weren't pure invention? What if terrified sailors had glimpsed something real, something that science would later confirm? Consider the evidence left on the ocean's greatest predators, sperm whales. These massive cetaceans dive thousands of feet into the dark to hunt, and when they return to the surface or wash ashore, their bodies often bear unmistakable scars, perfect circular marks the size of dinner plates etched by powerful suction cups. These wounds come from epic underwater battles with giant squids, creatures armed with hooked tentacles that fight ferociously for survival. Sperm whales emerge victorious more often than not, their stomachs filled with beaks and remains of these deep-sea giants. But the scars tell a story of brutal combat in the abyss. The connection became clearer in the 19th century when giant squids began washing ashore or being hauled up by fishermen. In 1861, the French ship Alecton encountered a massive squid off the Canary Islands, attempting to capture it before it sank. Specimens revealed creatures up to 13 meters long, with enormous eyes and tentacles lined with suckers and hooks, features that perfectly matched ancient descriptions of the Kraken's arms. The giant squid, Architeuthis dux, and its heavier cousin, the colossal squid, Mesonicoteuthis hamiltoni, live in the deep ocean, rarely surfacing alive due to crushing pressure differences. Dead bodies float, fueling myths, while live ones remain elusive. Fast forward to 2025, a landmark year for deep-sea exploration. In March, during an expedition to the remote South Sandwich Islands in the South Atlantic, scientists aboard the research vessel Falkor 2 from the Schmidt Ocean Institute deployed a remotely operated vehicle called Sebastian. At a depth of nearly 600 meters, they captured the first-ever confirmed footage of a live colossal squid in its natural habitat, a translucent juvenile about 30 centimeters long, gliding gracefully through the darkness. This marked the 100th anniversary of the colossal squid's scientific description, yet it was the first time humanity witnessed one alive and free. Experts like Dr. Kat Bolstad marveled at its delicate beauty, noting how adults could grow to 7 meters or more, weighing over 500 kilograms, with rotating hooks on their arms, deadly weapons that could indeed scar a whale or tangle a net. This juvenile sighting was no fluke. It highlighted how much of the ocean remains hidden. The colossal squid, the heaviest invertebrate on Earth, with eyes up to 30 centimeters across, the largest in the animal kingdom, evolved for the eternal night of the deep. Their massive eyes detect faint bioluminescence or the silhouette of predators like sperm whales from afar. Meanwhile, big-fin squids with elbows-like tentacles stretching 10 meters have been filmed in places like the Mariana Trench, their ghostly forms adding to the intrigue of abyssal life. Yet the paradox endures. Why do these giants stay hidden when the ocean covers 71% of our planet and is 95% unexplored? Extreme pressure, over 1,000 atmospheres in the trenches, cold and perpetual darkness shape their world. They thrive where we cannot, surfacing only in death. New submersibles like China's Fenduje probe the Mariana Trench, revealing colonies of life at 10 kilometers down, but squid evade bright lights and noise. In 2025 alone, expeditions uncovered new species and behaviors, reminding us that legends like the Kraken stem from rare glimpses of reality. The Kraken lives on, not as a vengeful monster, but as an evolved marvel of the deep, a reminder of nature's untamed power. With advancing technology, we edge closer to unveiling more secrets, but the ocean guards its mysteries jealously. What lurks in those uncharted depths? Perhaps the true Kraken awaits, larger and more astonishing than any tale. The evidence mounts, the footage emerges, and the intrigue deepens. The sea's greatest enigma may soon reveal itself fully. As we transition from ancient legends and scarred whale battles to the cold, hard facts of modern science, let's dive deeper into the creatures that likely inspired the Kraken myth. There are two primary candidates, the giant squid, Archaeoteuthis dux, and its even more massive cousin, the colossal squid, Mesonecoteuthis hamiltoni. These are not fantastical beasts, but real, living giants of the deep ocean, evolved over millions of years to dominate the abyssal realms. The giant squid has long been the star of deep-sea mystery. First photographed alive in 2004 by Japanese researchers off the Ogasawara Islands and filmed in its natural habitat in 2012, it can reach lengths of up to 13 meters for females, including their long tentacles. Males are smaller, but still formidable. With 8 arms and 2 elongated feeding tentacles lined with suckers and sharp teeth-like rings, they are built for ambush hunting in the twilight zone of the ocean. Their enormous eyes, up to 27 centimeters across, the largest in the animal kingdom, allow them to detect faint light and movement in near-total darkness. These eyes help them spot prey like fish and other squid, or evade their primary predator, the sperm whale. But the true heavyweight champion is the colossal squid. Unlike the slender, elongated giant squid, the colossal is bulkier, shorter in overall length, adults estimated at up to 10-14 meters, including tentacles, but far heavier, with females potentially exceeding 500 kilograms. What sets it apart are its rotating hooks on the arms and tentacles, sharp swiveling claws that can tear into prey or leave those telltale scars on whales. Its mantle is muscular and robust, filled with ammonium chloride to aid buoyancy in the dense cold waters it calls home, primarily around Antarctica and the Southern Ocean. For decades, our knowledge of the colossal squid came from fragments, beaks found in sperm whale stomachs, rare specimens caught in fishing nets, or carcasses washed ashore. The first intact adult was captured in 2007 in the Ross Sea, a massive female weighing nearly 500 kilograms. Scientists dissected it, marveling at its biology. Those huge eyes, possibly up to 30-40 centimeters in diameter, adapted to spot bioluminescent flashes or whale silhouettes from afar. But alive, in its natural environment, that remained elusive. That changed dramatically in 2025, a landmark year marking the 100th anniversary of the colossal squid's formal scientific description. In March, during an expedition to the remote South Sandwich Islands in the South Atlantic, aboard the research vessel Falkor 2 from the Schmidt Ocean Institute, a remotely operated vehicle named Sebastian descended to depths around 600 meters. There, gliding gracefully through the inky water, was a juvenile colossal squid, about 30 centimeters long, translucent and delicate, with its characteristic posture and tiny hooks already visible on its arms. This was no ordinary sighting. It was the first confirmed footage of a live colossal squid in its natural habitat. The young animal appeared almost ghostly, its body see-through like glass, a trait common in juvenile cranch-eyed squids to avoid detection. Experts, including Dr. Kat Bolstad from Auckland University of Technology, verified the identification based on those unique hooks and overall morphology. The team was stunned. Even online viewers watching the live stream flagged it in real time. Dr. Bolstad described it as humbling, noting how these creatures have no idea humans exist, thriving in a world of extreme pressure and eternal night. This juvenile sighting revealed new insights into their early life. Transparent at this stage, they likely descend deeper as they grow, turning opaque and reddish, developing those formidable hooks for battling Antarctic toothfish or defending against whales. Adults are solitary hunters, using powerful jets for propulsion and tentacles for lightning-fast strikes. Their buoyancy comes from ammonia-filled tissues, making them lighter than seawater, allowing efficient movement without constant swimming. But why are they so rare on camera? Colossal squids are masters of evasion. Their massive sensitive eyes detect bright lights from submersibles miles away, and the noise of ROVs scares them off. They inhabit the most hostile environments, the mesopelagic and bathypelagic zones, where pressure crushes ordinary life, temperatures hover near freezing, and food is scarce. Evolution has armed them perfectly: camouflage through transparency or counter-illumination, rapid escapes, and weapons that rival any sea monster from legend. Compare this to the giant squid, which has been filmed more often in open ocean currents worldwide. The colossal sticks to colder southern waters, making expeditions rarer and more challenging. Yet, with advancing technology, quieter ROVs, better cameras, and deeper diving submersibles, we're closing in. In the same year, back-to-back expeditions also captured first footage of related glass squids, highlighting how much remains undiscovered in the Southern Ocean. These real creatures embody the evolution of the Kraken from myth to science, not island-sized destroyers, but sophisticated predators shaped by the unforgiving deep. The giant and colossal squids have grown to immense sizes through abyssal gigantism, where low temperatures and scarce resources favor larger bodies for efficiency. Their intelligence, with complex nervous systems and problem-solving abilities, rivals many vertebrates. As we uncover more, through scars on whales, rare specimens, and now groundbreaking footage, we realize the ocean's giants are not gone. They're hiding in plain sight in the 95% of the sea we still haven't explored. The 2025 discovery of that delicate juvenile reminds us the true Kraken is alive, evolving, and perhaps far more astonishing than any sailor's tale. What secrets do the adults hold? With new tools probing deeper, we may soon find out. Now, let's plunge into the heart of the intrigue, the shadowy footage captured from the ocean's most inaccessible realms. For years, giant and colossal squids evaded our cameras, known only through battered carcasses or fleeting scars on predators. But in recent expeditions, remotely operated vehicles have pierced the veil, revealing ghostly silhouettes and massive shadows that fuel the Kraken legend anew. One of the most enigmatic deep-sea dwellers is the big-finned squid, genus Magnapinna, a creature that looks like it stepped out of a nightmare. With tentacles extending up to 10 meters or more, thin as spaghetti yet impossibly long, these squids hold their appendages in bizarre elbow-like poses, drifting or walking along the abyssal plain. First filmed in the early 2000s, sightings remain exceedingly rare, with fewer than 24 confirmed worldwide. In 2025 alone, new footage emerged from expeditions in the Cook Islands and Philippine Trench, capturing big fins at depths exceeding 5,000 to 6,200 meters, the deepest recorded for any squid. These apparitions, with fins nearly as large as their mantles, appear alien, their long arms trailing like fishing lines, possibly ensnaring prey in the eternal dark. But the real breakthrough came in March 2025, marking the 100th anniversary of the colossal squid's scientific description. Aboard the research vessel Falkor, 2 from the Schmidt Ocean Institute, during an expedition to the remote South Sandwich Islands in the South Atlantic, the ROV Sebastian descended to around 600 meters. There, gliding through the midnight zone, was a juvenile colossal squid, about 30 centimeters long, translucent as glass, its tiny hooks already forming on delicate arms. This was the first confirmed footage of a live colossal squid in its natural habitat. Experts like Dr. Kat Bolstad confirmed the identification. The posture, the emerging hooks, the ethereal transparency of youth. The young squid floated gracefully, unaware of the watching eyes, a fragile glimpse of a beast that grows into the heaviest invertebrate on Earth, weighing up to 500 kilograms with eyes the size of basketballs. This sighting wasn't isolated. Back-to-back expeditions in the Southern Ocean captured related glass squids, including the glacial glass squid in January near Antarctica, another first in the wild. High-resolution videos revealed these cranch-eyed family members in their element, inflating like balloons for buoyancy, counter-illuminating to blend with faint downwelling light. Yet colossal squids stand apart, bulkier and armed with swiveling hooks that could rend flesh in underwater duels. Deeper still, in the Mariana Trench, the planet's profoundest abyss, Chinese submersibles like Fenduje probed over 10 kilometers down in recent years, uncovering thriving colonies of worms and mollusks, but elusive squid shadows tease the cameras. NOAA's Okeanos Explorer and other missions have logged big fin squids in trenches worldwide, their long tentacles scraping the sediment, stirring clouds in the Hadal Zone. Footage shows enormous, indistinct forms, tentacles coiling in the gloom, silhouettes vanishing into blackness. Are these mature, colossal squids, or even larger unknowns? The videos are tantalizing, dark shapes looming larger than the ROV lights can fully illuminate, hooks glinting momentarily before retreat. These recordings expose the ocean's hidden drama. Sperm whales plunge to these depths, battling squids in epic clashes, beaks and arms regurgitated as evidence. Yet live encounters reveal grace over monstrosity, squids jetting silently, arms unfurling like deadly veils. In 2025, advancements in quieter ROVs and deeper probes brought more revelations, new species from vents and canyons, but squid remain masters of evasion. Bright lights and thrumming motors alert their hypersensitive eyes. They flee long before we arrive. The intrigue builds with every dive. What do these shadows conceal? Larger adults evading capture? Behaviors we've never witnessed, mating dances in the dark, hunts unfolding in slow motion, expeditions from Schmidt Ocean, NOAA, and international teams map uncharted trenches, revealing that 95% of the seafloor remains unseen. Each year brings hundreds of new species, yet cephalopods like the colossal squid guard their secrets fiercely. The 2025 footage of that delicate juvenile of ghostly big fins in abyssal plains proves the Kraken's essence endures. Not a rampaging myth, but an evolved enigma, thriving where pressure crushes steel and light dares not tread. These videos don't dispel the mystery, they deepen it. Huge tethers drift in currents, eyes scan for threats, bodies pulse with ammonia for neutral buoyancy. The deep ocean teems with such wonders, hidden giants that surface only in death or rare glimpses. As technology advances, silent drones, bioluminescent lures, we inch closer to unveiling adults in their lair. But for now, the footage whispers. The abyss holds more than we can imagine, and the true lords of the deep still watch from the shadows. And now we arrive at the heart of the paradox. Why do these colossal creatures of the deep remain hidden from us, rarely surfacing, even though the ocean covers more than 70% of our planet's surface? The answer lies in the unforgiving physics and biology of their world. Giant and colossal squids are perfectly adapted to the extreme conditions of the abyssal and bathypelagic zones. Depths where pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres, temperatures hover near freezing, and light is eternally absent. Their bodies, filled with ammonia-rich tissues for neutral buoyancy, allow them to float effortlessly without expending energy on constant swimming. On the surface, however, that same ammonia becomes toxic, and the drastic pressure change causes their delicate tissues to rupture or dissolve. Live specimens simply cannot survive the ascent. Only dead or dying ones wash ashore or float up, their massive forms bloated and broken. This phenomenon, known as abyssal gigantism, explains their enormous size. In the cold, food-scarce deep sea, larger bodies are more efficient, slower metabolisms conserve energy, bigger eyes detect faint bioluminescence from afar, and greater mass allows storage of reserves during long periods without prey. The colossal squid, the heaviest invertebrate alive, embodies this perfectly, weighing up to 500 kilograms, with eyes up to 40 centimeters across and swiveling hooks that make it a formidable predator. Evolution has favored these giants in an environment where resources are unpredictable and survival demands efficiency over speed. Yet the greatest paradox remains. Despite covering 71% of Earth, the ocean is still over 70% unmapped in high resolution, with less than 1% of the deep seafloor visually observed by humans. As of 2025, only about 27% of the global seafloor has been mapped with modern multi-beam sonar, and the Haddle Zone, the trenches deeper than 6,000 meters, remains almost entirely unseen. Expeditions like those to the Mariana Trench continue to reveal thriving ecosystems, but bright lights and noisy submersibles scare away elusive creatures like squids long before we arrive. New technologies, quieter drones, deeper diving robots, and bioluminescent lures are changing that, bringing us glimpses of life we once thought impossible. In March 2025, the Schmidt Ocean Institute's RV Falkor 2 made history near the South Sandwich Islands, capturing the first confirmed footage of a live colossal squid in its natural habitat. A translucent juvenile, about 30 centimeters long, gliding gracefully at 600 meters with emerging hooks on its arms. This delicate glass-like creature, verified by experts like Dr. Kat Bolstad, marked the 100th anniversary of the species' description and reminded us how much remains hidden. Back-to-back dives also filmed related glass squids, underscoring the Southern Ocean's untold biodiversity. So, is the Kraken merely an evolved squid, a product of abyssal gigantism thriving in the unexplored 95% of our oceans? The evidence, from scarred whales, rare carcasses, shadowy ROV footage, and now that groundbreaking 2025 sighting, points to yes. The legends were born from real encounters, exaggerated by fear and rarity. But the true marvel isn't a rampaging monster. It's a sophisticated, intelligent giant, perfectly suited to the eternal dark, evading us not out of malice, but because its world is one we can barely enter. As technology advances, submersibles probing the Mariana Trench, quieter vehicles capturing more live behaviors, we stand on the brink of unveiling adults in their domain. The ocean guards its secrets well, but each discovery pulls back the curtain a little further. The Kraken lives, not as myth, but as a testament to nature's ingenuity in the deepest voids. What do you think? Will we soon film a full-grown colossal squid hunting in the abyss? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed diving into these ocean mysteries with me, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next enigmatic creature we uncover. The depths are calling. Let's explore them together.